Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew, and welcome on back to Cities Skylines. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am having a fantastic day, and of course, sorry for the scratch in the throat right there. But what are we doing here today? We are back inside of our city that we started in the last episode, and we're working pretty good on it. I haven't really expanded much since the last episode, but we will be doing some expansion work regardless. So let's go ahead and actually get straight on into that. And for those who are just new to my channel, by the way, hi there. There is going to be a new tutorial series coming out later this week on Saturday, I believe. So if you guys want to stick around for that, then make sure to go and hit the subscribe button. And for those who are interested in all my other content, it will be coming back. I just have to wait a little bit before I can do so. So what do I want to get started with here today? I want to really get started with increasing our residentials, or not residential, industrial, because obviously we have a high demand for industrial right now. So we need to go ahead and get that taken care of ASAP. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to expand this road right here. We're going to expand it by about 4 blocks. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a intersection right here. Create it at 11 units. And then I want to go and do something like this. This will go and allow us for good spacing, is what I'll call it for now. But we will be changing it up eventually. Okay. Let's also go and expand you by another block and just go and do the same over here. So that's good for the moment. Eventually, we will go and have this come straight down here in a form of a one-way. Because what I want to do with this right here is I want to go and continue this highway so that way it can connect up to this one over here. That way it makes it a bit easier in terms of getting a bit more connections in, since this tiles does start with 2 connections. So let's go and get some more industrial setup. We can go and start off with some more industrial in this area. I think I'll leave a gap there. Let's put a gap here, or put some here, and go and put some in the rest. And what we need to do now is get that zone in ready for some water lines, pretty much. And there we go. By the way, in case anybody was wondering, there was not planned to be a video out on Friday. So in case you guys were wondering if there was going to be another video on Friday, that is, we are going to need to invest in power again. So let's go and get another wind turbine over here. Get it with 8 megawatts. That's perfectly fine. And we will have to start expanding our power demand, as it were. We would preferably want to start getting different types of power going along. But we are only really restricted to wind power and coal power. So unfortunately, we have to go based off of those. So for the moment, we still also got to get some trash collection going. So let's go and start off by getting a recycling center built up over here. That will start us off with some garbage processing. It also kicks in up here, in case you guys didn't know. So for those who are brand new to the game, recycling centers act in the same way that incineration plants do. They go and burn off garbage, but they are less productive. Incineration plants will have a 48,000 output for processing per week, whereas recycling centers have half of that. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind there as well. Okay. We now need to focus a little bit on health, which, granted, we don't really have much need for it at the moment, but we will have to get it pretty soon. And then education is something we gotta worry about as well, but preferably want to use the international one because we got 114 eligible elementary students. That's not bad. It's not bad. High school, none. Universities, none. That's granted for right there. Everyone in our city is uneducated, so makes sense. We also need to expand our residential. Okay, so residential needs to be expanded. That's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and slow down speed here. And I want to go ahead and expand this junction right here. And how else am I going to expand it? Well, we're going to use a specific mod. For those who aren't unaware, I am utilizing some useful mods in the series. One of those mods being the Roundabout Builder mod. This one is going to help in terms of actually building roundabouts themselves and keeping traffic management under control. So we can choose a variety of different types of roads that we can place down. I'm just going to stick with the 2-lane roads for the moment, and boom. Very easy, very simple. It just go ahead and replaces that section with some roundabouts, which I think is pretty nice. Now what we can go and do is we can set up something a bit better. What I want to do is go to priority signs, close the roundabout builder, and I want to go ahead and set this up to be yield from the avenues, so that way they're yielding to traffic in the roundabout, which is how it is in real life, and it is recommended to be like this for a lot of city builders. So, in case you guys are wondering. So also I'm gonna go and get rid of that tree because we don't need it. Does that also mess with our zoning? It does not. Good. So what I will do is get some commercial build up right here. Just going to get us started with that. Let me see here. I don't think we are going to get that landscaping until 1200. So we are about halfway there. It's not bad at the moment, but we can go and get that started pretty soon. Let's go and get the residential put in over here. It's not going to be a lot, but it will do for now. And let's go and get a road built up, I guess, like right here. Yeah. And then let's go and build you about 2-3 more blocks, roughly. Let's go and have you come over here. And then let's go and do this. Bring you down to match the avenue. And we'll go and bring you over to there. We're going to get rid of a couple different things that we got going right here, though. So we do got to be a little bit cautious about that. Not too much, but we will be fine with it. We're going to extend these roads a little bit, when we get the money, that is. And we should be good. Okay, and we can expand this avenue here when we get 600. Okay. And I really just want to go and try and accomplish 1,000 population today. I understand that the last episode was kind of a bit abrupt at the very end of it, where we stopped at the first milestone, but that's kind of how you have to play it with the beginning of the series. So what I'm doing here is just going to start off by building up as much population as we can, unless something else goes wrong, which hopefully nothing does. Which, now that I said that, most likely something will. Okay, so I think we should go and get Worthy Village. We reached 800 population. We get another tile. We do get access to emergency services, police department, and unique buildings. That's pretty good. We get access to specialization and self-sufficient buildings. We also get some policies. Get new buildings, of course. And I think that's pretty much it. We also get this stuff right here. Okay, that's good. That should do. We also need to worry about getting some more power, which we can go and do that over here. I will do that when we are pretty much there at the moment. Now, I think what I'm going to start off by doing is getting some districts put down. Districts are going to be a good way to go ahead and separate up your entire city. And that's really what you want to try and focus on. You want to try and focus on separating it out. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to go ahead and build up a district kind of within this space over here. So that way we can go and limit ourselves a little bit. So what I simply like to do is I like to go ahead and utilize the large brush tool and go directly down the middle first. Go directly down the middle and try and get as much of the actual roadways as possible. And then when you got all that taken care of, you got it all pretty much figured out. I'm also going to get this area part of it as well. That go ahead and names it. Something I'm also wanting to do this time, or this series, is I want you guys to go and name our districts. So in the comment, you can go ahead and say like Emerson Heights and then a district name you want to go ahead and give it. So if you guys are wanting to do that, then go ahead and do so in the comments section. I want to try and do that in terms of a little bit more engagement. So hopefully that works well for you guys. Anyway, let's go ahead and get some policies set up for this residential area. So this residential area is going to have some power usage and some water usage policies. This will help in terms of decrease the power and water usage that they are going to have. So if we look at power here, power is steadily going to go a little bit up again because people are going to use less and less power, which is what we want. And speaking of that, we might as well go and get another wind turbine here. Ooh, can't place one right there. Have to go with a 7 or build over here. Yeah, build right there and get 8. Seems perfectly fine. That seems perfectly fine right there. Now, I think we can do the same thing for our industrial area. It is kind of spread out at the moment, which isn't a bad thing, to be honest, but I would really want to fix that up. Another thing that I would really want to get now is all of our services. So we need to go and get a clinic. Let's go and put you on the side road there. Fire hazards. So fire hazards are primarily going to be caused by your industrial more than your residential, but you still want to have them spread out. So what I think I'm going to start off by doing is have a fire building, like let's go ahead and put a one-way road right here. That seems perfectly fine to me. We have an outway on this side, but we're not an inway on this side, so we would want to focus on that pretty shortly. So I think one thing I'll do with this, when we get the highways unlocked, is I will go and replan this a little bit so that way it's more of a gradual turn onto the highway instead of it being abrupt, right? Like that. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Anyway, let's go and get our firehouse built up over here. Costs 12,000. We might want to go and just take out a loan for that. That, or we can increase our taxes. So what I know is good is to increase taxes to 12%, which, granted, you can also increase it to 13%, but I think at that point you start getting unhappy residents. And we are now a tiny town. We got park areas, industrial areas, landscaping, and more policies. Let's see. We got the fishing industry, which is really good. I want to start experimenting with that this episode. We also got a lot of policies. That's really good. A lot of paths and roads that we can utilize. Landscaping, canals and such. New fences that we can utilize. This is all from the park life. All this is available to us. High schools, public libraries. We haven't even got our first elementary school yet. So, mind you, high school is not going to be our first concern. There's going to be a lot to work with here, though. So let's go ahead and first, before anything, since we got our health clinic, let's go ahead and get our firehouse. Firehouse is going to be your main concern you really want to focus on, because your buildings are going to catch fire. And I think that does get connected. Yes, it does. Awesome. Let's also go ahead and connect up this little area right here. And let's do the same here. And look at that. All these trucks and such are utilizing that highway a little bit more. So that's pretty good. Okay. I think I want to go and get some residential put in over here. So we'll do that. For landscaping, this is what I was primarily wanting to do. So if you go ahead and get unlock landscaping, you also unlock pathing. So this is something that me and a lot of other YouTubers like to do with our cities. We like to go ahead and use paths. Paths are just really, really good. Really good for walking around and utilizing for your city. And that is my primary concern. I like to focus on the walkability of the city. I don't hear that term used a lot, but when it is used, I am like very happy because I know that it's something that I'm very happy about. So let's see here. We go. That's 2 units, 3, 4, 5. So in case anybody doesn't know, if you have never played this game before, that blue line right there represents 10 units across. And when the line first shows up right here, you guys can see that is at 5 units. So this is 5 and that's 6. So I like to go and count it out a little bit like that. Let's go and get you down to the ground. And let's go and get you connected up there. And let's go and get you connected right there. Seems perfectly fine to me. And we are already going to start getting people utilizing that, which, to be honest, I will actually want to go and get this relayed out now. So let's pause the game here. And let's go ahead and get our one-way roads. Let's go 4 and... Oh, we want to actually have grid on. 4 right there. Turn on road guidelines. And, ooh, turn off angle. I think that's the angle that we want, so that's pretty good. And there we go. That's what we really wanted for our roads, so that's perfectly fine right there. One thing I will say is I want to go and redo that bridge. Oh, autosave. Okay. Let's redo that bridge so that way it goes. Get rid of the grid. Turn on angle. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and put grid on then. Ooh, okay. What about if I were to get rid of grid but just keep the angle? Let's go ahead and put you like that. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's not crazy better, but it'll work for now. It'll work for now. It'll at least allow connection over to our industrial area from our residential areas if they don't want to use this bridge, because this bridge is going to get high traffic eventually. So what we really now need to focus on is policing. So policing is going to be something you want to focus on for your commercial more than anything, because your commercial is going to be more susceptible to break-ins, embezzlements, and so on and so forth. So you want to really focus on getting your commercial focused around your policing, not necessarily your residential. Granted, you do want to have some residents, like this guy right here is complaining that he had high crime. So let's go and get our, let's go and place it like right here. Like right there seems pretty good. I could place it like right over here. That would also seem pretty good, but I think that's a little bit too far away from this side. Because if I take a look here, you can see how the green kind of like fades out towards the other end of the avenue. So that's something to keep in mind. That's something to keep in mind. So I think we are just going to have it be about right here. We'll have that be right there. Very good coverage. Yeah, it doesn't get all the way over here in our residential area for Emerson Heights, but that is something to keep in mind. That is something to keep in mind. Okay. Processing is poor at the moment, so one thing I will go and utilize, which I don't like using too often because it does pollute a lot heavier than others, is the landfill site. Landfill sites will be primarily used to go ahead, also put road links on. What was I saying? Landfill sites are primarily used when you don't really have any other means of garbage collection. So that'll be useful in the long run. Now it is time to focus on the fishing harbor. Each one of these fishing harbors costs 8,000 to go ahead and build. And you can already see that there is a lot going on over here. We got a lot of tuna, we got a lot of shellfish, and this isn't a tile we don't own. Now, if I recall correctly, I think that there was something inside of the community forums that stated that you can go ahead and build the fishing routes outside of your tile, which I kind of think is a bit wrong. I don't think that's correct, so I'm going to try that out here. So I want to try and get 8,000 money, preferably game. Let's go ahead and get you right over. Let's go and put you like right over here, I guess. And I might as well just go and take out the loan, just make it a bit quicker. So that way we can get it right on the bat. Let's go ahead and put you like right there. Go on 1x speed for the moment. And let's go ahead and take a look at our fishing routes. Oh, you can't go outside your tile. Huh. Okay. Okay. That changes things. I wasn't expecting that. Let's see here. I want you to go out by 10 units, 10 units, and then 10 and 10. I primarily want you to catch tuna. but I think you're going to catch a lot more salmon in this area. So let's go ahead and go like, because this route is going to be relatively simple. And we're going to see the actual, that will go ahead and connect that up. Let's go ahead and get it covered with some water. So there we go. And let's also get it connected to the roadway. Now, connecting it to the roadway, I think I want to have it connect through the the residential area via a tunnel, pretty much. Oh, we are actually having some power issues. We are, okay. Okay, it's not that bad of power issues, so I will need to get another wind turbine over here. I don't think it's gonna get 8, so we are gonna have to start looking at other alternatives for power pretty soon. Because wind turbines are gonna be primarily less. So, okay, so these are the little fishing trucks. They will go and collect fish while they are out on the waters. And right now, they're only collecting salmon, and they collect them relatively quickly. So I don't necessarily think you need to really worry about how quickly they're gonna run. But as soon as they get up to 100% capacity, which they will here in just a moment, they are gonna pretty much go into speedboat mode and come back to the actual fishing harbor, which I think is really good. It kind of decreases the amount of time that the actual boats will be out of your vehicle or of your actual fishing harbor. So, with that said, I think that's good to go ahead and get that taken care of. And I think that is the end of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys want to go and rename this district right here for Emerson Heights. And I will catch you guys for the next episode. Ciao for now.